Hello my dear audience, today we're gonna visit the most important building in the career of John Lautner. It's of course the legendary Chemosphere. Although Lautner designed buildings that I found more beautiful and the Elrod house might be more famous, I cannot deny that this house is the most original and progressive achievement in the career of John Lautner. The building is one of a kind and almost every aspect about it is unique. Even 50 years after its complementation, the house is still strikingly spectacular, or like Encyclopedia Britannica once said, the most modern home built in the world. Looking like a flying saucer that floats in the air, the house appears to arrive straight out of a science fiction movie, making this a great example of space-age design. The house was commissioned by airplane designer Leonard Malin. Malin's father-in-law was the owner of the house next door. He told to Malin that the vacant lot behind his house was for free because nobody could build a house on a steeply rising hillside. This sparked the interest of Malin, and he called the landlord and actually got the ground for free. Many of his friends considered the ground impossible for living, and Malin approached many architects who all rejected the commission. However, John Lautner considered the commission a challenge, and he designed a very lightweight building, safely balancing on a strong foundation. A circular concrete foundation was placed in the ground. A hollow concrete pillar was placed on that foundation. 8 diagonal iron arms were attached to the concrete pillar. On each of these arms, a horizontal iron arm was placed. These 8 arms led to the center of the pillar. Between the bars, 11 iron rods were placed. The total of 88 iron rods were the foundation on which the wooden floor panels were laid. To create a roof, large wooden beams were connected to the supporting arms. These beams were made of plates of wood that were bent with steam and then glued together. The curving beams hold a number of 80 smaller wooden arms together. Finally, the roof was made out of plastic panels. The panels of the same material are also placed on the underside of the house. These panels were provided for free by Chemseal, a company that was the sponsor of the house, hence the name Chemosphere. Gas, electricity and water is transported through the hollow tube and the concrete pillar. To provide daylight in the living room, a large polymer skylight was placed over the opening where the 8 roof beams come together. Underneath this skylight is a brick wall that divides the living quarter. The brick construction gives also the possibility for a fireplace. The original interior of the house was designed by John H. Smith, the first famous African-American interior designer. It was John Lautner's intention to build more similar houses, but there's a reason why the house is never being copied. Its high maintenance costs. A house that floats in the air is very inaccessible for a construction worker, and this makes even a simple paint job very expensive. Its high maintenance costs forced Leonard Malin to sell the house in 1973. The interior of the house was redesigned a couple of times and it was used as a rental location to host parties. During these years, the Chemosphere was used many times as a movie location, most famously in the 80s cult movie Body Double, in which a resident of the house witnesses a murder taking place in a neighboring house. The Chemosphere gave also inspiration to a lot of animation series, like the Jetsons, the Thunderbirds, the Simpsons and the video game Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. Its use in the media made it probably the most iconic house in Los Angeles, and together with the Hollywood sign, it belongs to the most important landmarks of the city. In recent years, no one less than Benedict Taschen, the founder of the Taschen book publishing company, bought the house and restored it in its original condition, making it as beautiful as it deserves to be. Because of the rise of the hill, you have to take a cable car to even get close to the house. The main building is completely free of the ground and only accessible by a bridge. You enter the house through the open kitchen or through the glass sliding door at the balcony. This rectangular window in the lower side of the wall is important. It's the only option to have a clear view of the person waiting below down the track of the cable car. From this window you can decide if you let the cable car coming down or whether the person is uninvited. The second and third bedroom can become one bedroom by removing a sliding wall. This was your tour guidance. Thanks for watching. Until next time. Goodbye.